Welcome to the Zinnov Podcast. You are listening to our Business Resilience series, where we bring to you conversations with eminent industry stalwarts and thought leaders from across the globe as they share their insights on overcoming challenges and the mindset that helps them navigate through journeys of crisis resilience and growth.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Zinnov Podcast's Business Resilience series. I am Nitika Goel, CMO Zinnov, and your host for today. In the last economic crisis of 2008, banks and financial institutions were a part of the problem. However, today, as we grapple with the economic and financial repercussions of COVID-19, these very same companies are at the forefront and are a part of the solution. Today, I have with me Sukanyya Misra, Head and SVP of Mastercard's India Tech Hub. With more than 25 years of rich cross-functional experience, Sukanyya drives Mastercard's strategy for the hub and has been recognized as a next-generation woman leader, given her role in making the India Center pivotal to Mastercard's global innovation story. Today, we will be discussing adaptive innovation and how leaders like herself are recalibrating their thinking, learning, and even doing to ensure continued innovation and agility in the backdrop of these volatile times. Welcome to this episode of Zinnov's podcast, Sukanyya. It is great to have you here.
Thank you so much, Nitika, and thanks to Zinnov. I'm really looking forward to sharing my learnings and the best practices that Mastercard is following during these unprecedented times. Thank you so much.
Great. As I was just talking about before this, Sukanyya, BFSI sector is in the thick of things today. How has the industry changed, and how is Mastercard looking at this role and its role specifically during this crisis and beyond?
I think we all agree that COVID-19 is a once in a lifetime event. It has brought in a lot of uncertainty in every aspect of our society and business. But for BFSI, specifically, we are seeing the impact in business continuity issues, operational considerations, to the overall financial outlook. To navigate through these times, BFSI sector needs to focus on liquidity, credit risk, and along with the quality of financial reporting and disclosures, but above all, the well-being of the employees. The cause of financial inclusion and inclusive growth is even more critical now to make sure that whatever comes next we are in a place where we all have access to whatever we need to grow and then finally thrive. In managing the business, we think about the progression through 4 distinct phases: containment, stabilization, normalization, and growth. Containment is where we went into lockdown, all the restrictions came into impose, be it travel, social distancing, or closure of businesses. In stabilization, people started complying for the social distancing norms. The schools and non-essential services, and businesses, when it started closing down, we saw a slowing in the curve, the COVID curve, and that's when we also saw our spend levels plateauing. But as we are moving from stabilization to normalization, like I said, this is when we are seeing that our spend levels are commencing the path of recovery, mainly because we are seeing gradual easing of restrictions and phased opening of our businesses and some institutions also. As COVID situations are improving, even for Mastercard, today we have opened up over 40 of our global offices. In growth, we finally believe that this is the final stage when the spend levels will trend higher than the pre-COVID levels, and widely believed this will happen when there will be a vaccine available to provide a cure for all.
Great. Thank you for that perspective, Sukanya. For me, I personally love the way you broke it down into containment, stabilization, normalization, and then finally growth. One of the key things that MasterCard has traditionally been known for is its powerful innovation constructs, right? And the technology hub which you manage has been a pivotal part of that journey. What have been the fundamental tenets of innovation at MasterCard and especially at the India Tech Hub?
We are really committed to making the India Tech Hub a global technology hub for our platforms. India Tech Hub in Pune and Vadodara are Mastercard's largest technology hub outside of the US, and it houses our local edition of Mastercard Labs, where R&D and innovation is incubated. In our endeavor to fuel innovation, we work with various financial institutions and our partners, like I mentioned, the merchants and even the fintech community, to identify and experiment with future technologies. In India Tech Hub, we are playing a pivotal role in bringing all these digital payment solutions to life. We are working on many future technologies and using data solutions, alternative payments, biometric authentication, cybersecurity, and also working very passionately on solutions on financial inclusion. In 2013, we inaugurated the Advanced Analytics Center of Excellence, which is the largest center now in Gurgaon. And here we are equipped with world class data analysts, data scientists, and even AI professionals to support our customers by identifying trends in spend behavior that is derived from billions of anonymized transaction data that is processed by Mastercard every year, and create solutions for the rapidly growing need of the businesses, where we are leveraging all these actionable insights from the data.
Got it. So that's a very interesting perspective, right? So you've talked about anonymized data, you're talking about how you're using AI ML, you're making the customer experience, the merchant experience, and even you're using technology as a key enabler of all of that. I just wanted to check, how has this pandemic impacted your approach to innovation? What have the major shifts been or have been enabled at a global level, at an India center level? And it'll really be great if you could share some metrics and some anecdotes here.
Perfect. We are really committed to fuel innovation for our customers, merchants, and partners. And we have been a key contributor in building the payment ecosystem in India from its inception. We've been here for, close to 30 years, and has worked closely with our local partners and the governments to ensure we customize the solution for the country. And even today, we stand true to our commitment as we work very closely with all the important partners in this ecosystem in the digital journey of India. COVID 19 has changed the way we work, we shop, we communicate with our people. So the notion of speed, convenience, safety are being re examined and redefined. So shoppers have had to adjust to new challenges when they are buying everyday supplies amidst the social distancing norms or the remote working or stay at home measures and other measures that has been affected due to the COVID-19 situation. So finding the balance between the need to protect ourselves and the need to interact with our communities to maintain our daily lives is the challenge that is faced by everybody, not only in India, but across the world. So the usage of digital payments among Indian consumers in the current scenario stood the highest around the globe. It is at 75%, followed by China at 63%, and then Italy at 49%. So further, around 78% of the Indians said that they will adopt digital payments more actively over the next 6 to 9 months, according to a recent survey we conducted. So the shift in behavior that is particularly evident as at the checkout, where people continue to express a desire for contactless cards and voice concerns over cleanliness and safety at the point of sale. According to the consumer poll conducted by Mastercard, we have seen an acceleration of 40% in contactless payment globally, and it included tap and pay and mobile pay during the first quarter of this year. Also, 49% of the Indian consumers say that they plan to use cashless more often. A large majority, 77% of India, believe that the shift to the contactless payment is here to stay. In China, it is 73%, Australia about 71%, and in Japan, it is 62%. So I believe the pivot has been the max in India, which is the adoption of digital and contactless payment. Now, however, to further strengthen the acceptance of digital payments, it is also important that we increase the merchant's involvement and make the process more transactional. The process of transaction more easier and more secure. To address that, we are closely working with the government and the industry to create more awareness around digital payments, a lot of involvement in training and showcasing the benefits of digital payment solution is also happening online. To further boost the confidence in digital commerce and ensuring that safety security is not compromised, Mastercard has also launched easy to use, AI based applications that help preempt and prevent cyber attacks.
Thank you for that perspective, Sukanya. I got speed, convenience, and safety definitely being the three vectors that we're looking at. What we did talk about is how we're approaching the pandemic problem from a technology and solutions aspect. How are you? So obviously, time is one of the most important vectors in any equation, right? And how your organization had to change and evolve in order to deliver this is something that we would love to hear and understand. And how did you do it as well from a personal leadership capacity, right? How did you recalibrate yourself and your organization both to deal with this crisis?
Absolutely. So at Mastercard, we understand how difficult this time is for everyone, and we all have a responsibility to not just help those in need today, but also ensure that the world emerges from this pandemic as a more resilient player and a resilient place. So at Mastercard, our operations have continued without any disruption as we very swiftly shifted to flexible work arrangements across our offices. Being an IT company, we are well prepared to work remotely. And so, the shift from office work to remote work and providing all the support seamlessly has been quite smooth for us. But we also, from the very beginning, ensure that all our staff is safe and well equipped to work remotely. Now, during this pandemic, the adoption to real time responses to protect against any threat of cybersecurity or fraud is paramount. And that is what we ensured as our first line of defense. We are also maintaining the electronic payment ecosystem that provides critical infrastructure, security, and also our product and services to help our customers, maintain their businesses without any disruption. So our network allows consumers access all the necessities from the comfort of their home. Also, as a responsible citizen, MasterCard is working with various stakeholders, which includes governments and also civil society, to offer the support and expertise in providing solutions for those who have been impacted drastically. And these are the small merchants, the MSMEs, and the farmers. Now, in the recent months, MasterCard has pledged $250 million to support the MSMEs, of which India has got about $33 million, which is equivalent to 250 Indian rupee, in 250 crores of Indian rupees. And the way we are supporting the small businesses in India using our network, technology, knowledge, and services to help the small businesses growing their digital payments awareness and providing low cost acceptance solutions, be it online or offline, and that they are simple, safe, and secure. But also drive inclusive growth by enabling small merchants and kirana stores with access to credit and knowledge and tools that can drive their operational efficiencies. And above all, empower women entrepreneurs by increasing their business acumen. For your question on, what has been, my personal recalibration that we had to do, there's a saying that's old adage that states that crisis does not build characters, but it reveals it. So in terms of leadership, this is what I observed across Mastercard, which is immediate action when COVID really hit us, and that is three qualities, which is a sense of urgency, and then curiosity, and then competitiveness, where we needed to act very quickly, and also make sure that there is transparency and information across the organization, sharing of best practices and learnings, and then focused curiosity, which is a deep desire to understand, and that is also guided by a purpose. And finally, the competitiveness, in terms of our ability to expect the unexpected, staying connected, with our customers, and also listen to our employees, our colleagues, and be a partner to our government and civil society. Personally, I would say that what was really needed at that time and even today is to listen actively and be decisive, and the decisions are driven by not only all the information and collective collaboration, but also compassion at the heart.
Thank you, Sukanya. I really loved what the adage. I've always heard that a crisis helps build character, but it's a new version, which is it helps reveal character. I think the points that you raised about curiosity, competitiveness, and the fundamental sense of urgency that has come, it couldn't be more appropriate than what you've just mentioned in the case of the pandemic. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure interacting with you, and thank you once again to all our listeners for logging into this episode of Zinnov's podcast.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Zinnov's Business Resilience series. Stay tuned for more such interesting episodes and subscribe to our podcast on Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. To know more about Zinnov, and if you believe we can help with your problems, please visit our website www.zinnov.com or drop us a note at info@zinnov.com. Thank you again, and don't forget to tune in to our next episode.